What side? I think we could change that to that, so I could then have that like that to hear you. Thank you, Harry. Repeat that last bit again. When I give you a thumbs up, you'll be live, but yeah, it's really awkward, you can't hear each other. Sorry. So your thumbs up, I'll just start talking. Awesome. Hello and welcome to Play Sport for Women's British Basketball League action. Tonight the hometown Caledonia Gladiators take on the Durham Palatinates in a season opener here in the league at the amphitheatre. Coach Miguel Ortega enters year 2 of the Gladiators with wind in their sails, a brilliant 21-point win over Benfica midweek. Durham enter the new season looking to better their 9th place finish and will no doubt be aiming for the playoffs. The Gladiators will look to start positively the year of Play Sport and build on last season's 2nd place finish with a roster bursting in quality all the way through it. Last season the head-to-head was split with both teams winning their home fixture. Tonight I'm joined on co-commentary by Rona Lightbody and Rona, what do we expect from tonight's game?
I'm expecting, both teams to come out, first game from each of them for the WBBL season, and they're going to want to come out, they're going to want to play their style of basketball. Phenomenal facility to be playing in, great place for Durham to be travelling up. I caught up with Coach Lee Davey before the game. He's brought back quite a few returners, but people who follow the team will have noticed there's a big miss today in Harriet Otterswell-Soulsby, who's currently unavailable. So, they're going to miss her, but I think they're going to come out. They've brought in some great imports, and I think we're going to be in for a good game today. Yeah,
who are you looking forward to seeing for the Gladiators tonight?
Tonight, having watched them a couple of times, whether it was in the European game, whether we won during the week, or in their pre-season, just all of them are very exciting. I've found Jeneba Njai, who plays number 50. She plays hard, she plays fast, she gets to the hoop, she draws contact. But then you also look at Samantha Roscoe, who's in number 5, no stranger to the WBBL, and she can shoot the 3, but she also runs the floor like she's a point guard. So, there's so many exciting pieces of the Gladiators roster this season, and I think it's just going to be a great night all round.
Yeah, so the stars are just coming on the floor. It looks like Ndai is starting with Roscoe, McCarrican, Hannah Robb, and Bintu Lowe. We're just waiting for Durham to come on with who their starters are. It's Hendershot, Bennett, Klassen, Chukwuetu and Griffith Wallace. So we're just waiting on the referees for this game to start. And we've just had, after obviously the men's game beforehand, it's good to see a good number staying behind for this one as well.
No, it definitely is, and I think actually the game's been sold as 2 separate games, so you've had new fans come in as well, and I think that's great to see that culture being built. You can support the men's team, the women's team, or you can support them independently, but obviously they're trying to grow this club culture that the Gladiators are renowned for. So I think we're in for a good one this evening.
Yeah, especially after the last season's back-to-back game, head-to-head, being one each. It'll be interesting to see how this one goes at the start of the season. So the announcer's got everyone ready. The referee's about to tip off. It's Lowe versus Klassen for the tip. And yeah, Gladiators start this one off.
Do you ever find tips can sometimes be like a little bit underwhelming? You know, you kind of build up to the start of the game and then you just get out there, jump ball, and off you go.
Yeah, you've got McCarrigan playing it into low. This is where they should be able to almost turn. Hannah Robb gathers it. And dive for 3. Oh, and she makes it. That's something that she was super impressive with in that fourth quarter on Wednesday against Benfica.
She definitely was, and there's me at the top of the show talking about how she drives, draws contact, and then she's like showing another string to her bow. She's going to step back, shoot that 3. That's going to make her difficult for guarding.
And it's always better for us when the player we pick out scores first.
Like we did our homework.
Hendershot driving inside, looking for the handoff, and it's inside, dished out to Bennett. Bennett for 3, misses, and rebound by Lowe.
I actually saw Katie Bennett warming up next door, and she was not missing many of those 3s on the practice court pre-game.
Dye drives in, misses it. Rebound by Hendershot. Dishes back to Bennett. I wonder if she probably has the kind of license just to shoot.
I would say so, and you know, Durham, they've undersized compared to how Gladiators are, and Gladiators this season, you know, they've brought in 9 new players and they've all got height on them, and that makes it tough when you're trying to defend someone that's got, you know, a bit of height on you, and they've also able to get their hand in your shooting lane, so that's going to be something they'll look to adjust with.
So yeah, we've got the shot clock was slow to start there, it's just started, but 10 on the clock, top of the key, and Dye coming round to try and cut it off, and step back for 3, and rebound by Lowe as she goes the full way down the court.
Coast to coast.
And makes the 2. Gladiators 5-0 ahead.
Now when the team have their bigs going coast to coast like that, you know you're going to have potentially a long afternoon.
And it was interesting watching Bintu play midweek and the confidence she was at rebounding. She hustles so well in defence that with the players around her, offence wasn't something that we saw a lot of on Wednesday night, so it's great seeing an early 2 go down for her. As Zendaya actually steals it at half court. She's going to the basket. A foul and 1. And Dye has come out to play
and
today.
There's that drive, contact, and making the bucket that we were talking about. You can see Gladiators have come out to make a statement of intent. You know, they know they're playing in Europe. The only team alongside them in the female side doing that at the moment is obviously the London Lions. And we all know where we place London Lions at the moment, that they are a phenomenal team, especially with how they've recruited this summer. So, Gladiators team brought in these 9 new players. They're going to be looking for court time as well. It's a team game, but they're going to want to be proving themselves because obviously they've got a midweek game coming up as well against the Belgians.
Yeah, the Dye knocks down that 3 throw. The Gladiators 8-0 up. Drive in. McCarrigan playing some tough defence. Good hands for Samantha Roscoe, and it's Durham ball on the baseline. I think when you just look at this team as well, the intensity they played in defence. When you have players like Erin and Hannah Robb on defence, it's phenomenal to watch the intensity of it. 5-second violation again. And that kind of just testifies the defensive intensity.
It does, and that's the length that you get from having height. You know, you don't become 6'2", 6'3", and have T-Rex arms. So that's going to make it challenging, especially on those inbound balls. Again, Coach Lee Davey was saying they did manage to get many pre-season games under their belt. So, you know, this is a big first outing for Durham. So they're going to be having to find how each other play and find themselves their momentum. So I expect them to play themselves into this game. Yeah,
McCarrigan gets her own rebound, dishes out for Roscoe 3, and Samantha Roscoe from 3, her first shot of the game. The Gladiators are out to 11-0 start. It's just the intensity, it's the full court. Every play from the Gladiators so far. Hendershot drives in but picked off. Hannah Robb goes for the full court pass. And Dye dishes it off to Samantha Roscoe. And it's a miss, but good rebound by Bintu. And it is a Gladiators ball on the baseline.
Yeah, really nice unselfish play there by the Gladiators, and then continuing to secure the boards. A bit like we saw in the men's game, especially in the first half, crashing the boards hard, making sure they don't give up anything easy.
Hannah Robb plays it into Erin, top of the 3 points. Hannah Robb step backs for 3. Rebound up for Bennett, who gathers it. I'm actually pretty impressed so far. Okay, they've not got a point on the board, but Durham playing at a good speed on offense. They're happy to take shots. And rebound again by Bintu.
Yeah, and you can't miss all game. Like, I am testament to that fact. You know, you can't miss all game, so she will. What a nice take.
And Dye, full court off the rebound for another 2 and a foul. She'll go to the line for that extra shot.
She is going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, Durham will have seen the Gladiators midweek online watching Benfica. Teams are obviously seeing the Gladiators played that game. Season only just starting this weekend as well. And we saw a couple of teams play yesterday. There's a couple more today. This early season just kind of feeling everyone out.
No, it definitely is, and there's not actually that many games before then we're into the GB international break where the women are starting that campaign against Sweden. And so you've got to kind of find your momentum really quickly, and then you maybe potentially not lose it so much, but you're not going to have that game time under your belts and then go back at it again. So every game is going to be important, and like you say, Durham took the win last season on their home court by 2. That'll be something the Gladiators want to avenge, although they did still take that second spot. If it had come down to that, every game you've got to be winning. You can't, the season isn't long enough or packed enough that you can afford to take the L's here and there. Sometimes maybe you have over in the American.
And I suppose that's something that's quite unusual. We see a lot around leagues across Europe. Like I think it was Benfica had played 4 games. Other London opponents had played games before playing them, and Gladiators obviously coming in to play Benfica midweek without an official game, but having that really effective pre-season probably really helped them. That trip to Spain they went on.
Yes, and you can see that they're investing in the team, and it's not just investing on the team as in bringing in the players, it's the facilities, it's being able to train here all the time. They can get in and do whatever they need to do. They're not waiting on the badminton's finishing as we saw in the Ballers documentary, because that is a problem.
Yeah,
and by the club itself investing in them, being able to go on their pre-season trips and play other teams who've been playing practice games at weekends, all of that helps you gel and look at different things.
And a die with the and one, and that's a 14-0 start, over 6.5 minutes to go. It was actually during the summer. I never found myself watching Afro Basket. It was Ndai who was playing for Mali, and she was phenomenal there. So it's amazing seeing her take her kind of international form into the domestic level.
Yeah, you can tell she plays hard, she plays fast. We've obviously got several players on the team. Tough shot there by Hendershot. We've got players on the team obviously where English is maybe a second language, but corny as it is, basketball's a language, right?
Absolutely.
You know how to play defense. You can tell by the way things are running. And you can see by the way she plays, she's like, well, I'm going to play my game. And
catch and shoot from Roscoe, misses unfortunately. Rebound for Durham.
You can see they're just trying to get something going, Durham, aren't they? They're bringing the ball up the court, and they're wanting to like look for their options inside. And Hendershot not having Ottawa Susley today, there's going to be far more of the emphasis on her, which is going to make it more challenging for her to get free and get the ball.
Yeah, so Miguel Ortega's rolling the subs now. They're bringing on Robin Lewis, Ariadna Puyol, and Lakin James, making her first time back in Scotland after playing with Caledonia Pride.
Yes, and I think that's something that's interesting. The Gladiators have built this roster, said it again, with their 9 new players, but actually out of the 12, 8 of them have got WBL experience.
Yeah.
So they know the country, they know the league, they know how things work, and that plays to your advantage as well.
It's a pull-up jump shot in the middle of the key for Durham, but it's missed. Robin Lewis comes down the floor of the ball.
Yeah, Griffith Wallace, she's going to find that, and she's obviously just feeling out the court, she's feeling out the shots, and it is going to fall for her, but they're playing against some suffocating defence at the moment. Lovely post-up work there by Bintulo. Hendershot doing well though, not allowing her to establish her position. Nice hands and the turnover.
Griffith Wallace looked quite impressive college resume, playing over in Canada. Oh, Durham still unable to knock it down, but get the rebound for Hendershot. Klassen with a miss, and picked up by Robin Lewis as the tempo's pushed again. Bintu at the top, looking for Lakin James. And this is another thing with Miguel's team. You're seeing a lot of different starting fives. That was the same last season. And yet again we see tonight Ari Anna coming off the bench, Lakin James coming off the bench. And it's one of the things that I think Miguel touched on during the week in his press conference was actually anyone can play any given night.
It definitely is, and I think Miguel likes to play around with these starting fives, and I think that's a great way to look at it. I know growing up playing sport myself, I was like, if I'm not in the starting five, the coach must not rate me, or I'm not as good as those players. But actually, the way he approaches things, in different games, you're going to need different matchups. You don't know how practice is necessarily gone, if anyone's picking up injuries or how you're matching up. It also makes it challenging for the other coach to know how they're going to come out the blocks.
Kirsty Brown, who just checked in the floor, dribbles in, layup. Oh, misses, but rebound by Putra, and she puts it back in. Great play, and that's the thing where this game, the Gladiators have a massive advantage is on the rebounding with their sheer size.
They do indeed, and Putra is someone that's really impressed me, and I watched her over the summer when she was playing in the European Championships, and she gets at it and she works hard, and that's all Coach Miguel and Donny will be looking for, is that they get out there and they work their socks off.
Yeah, she played against Chantal Hande, who was coaching the GB team for Ukraine under-20s in the summer, against one of her teammates, Omer Jones, as well, so the girls got a good look at her there.
Yeah, and that's where you can see that they're bringing in the youth as well. They're not just trying to stack the team with, experienced older players, because you've got to have that blend in a team, you've got to develop the youth, and it's really good to see. I mean, people maybe notice the
3 up, and it's a miss. Durham still unable to unlock the score for them. Robin Lewis pushing up the floor. I just love the intensity Robin Lewis plays at.
I know, and when she was playing big minutes last season. Lovely turn.
Lovely moving the post.
And that's your point guard, and she's backing people down in the post. But you need the full skill set, right? You can't just go out and be some one-dimensional player.
Yeah, Ariadna, former Spain Youth International, played at all age groups up to under 20. She's 28 now, played for Barcelona at one point last season.
She did indeed. Catalonian native.
Bennett shoots it. Still not able to open their scoring for tonight, and it's pushed up the floor again by the Gladiators. Lake and James drives inside. The refs called it, I think, on the floor. Blocking foul, sideline ball. Or baseline ball, sorry.
I feel like this could potentially start to go into Dan Rutledge territory of the longest period of time in a first quarter before a team scores.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know what the Women's British Basketball League record is. Somewhere we'll find out and tell us, obviously. Almost picked off by Klassen as they look to push it down the floor. They get it over half court. The pressure from Robin Lewis on defense, looking for help. Bro with the ball. Eliza Bro drives in, shoots, and she's going to be shooting for two. Foul on, I think, Kirsty Brown.
And I think this will be good. If she can knock down the shots, it'll hopefully settle the team. It's not they're not getting looks, they're just not dropping. And that's common. Basketball, game of runs. And, if you can put these in, it might just lift the team a little bit. They've sort of broken the back of it, really. Made sure the net's not got cling film on it.
First one on, and it's off the front of the room.
Going to need a little bit more leg, a little bit more height on that one. And
as you said, all it takes is maybe one shot to drop, and it's all momentum. Game of runs, as we just touched on. So let's see. And she's off again. Putra with the rebound to Ariadna. Again, the tempo's phenomenal. As we're driving inside.
There's no harder time to score than when your team's not scoring. I'm a big advocate on no point scoring 40 points if your team wins by 50.
Absolutely.
It's scoring 10 points for your team.
Scramble on the floor. Lake and James with it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Shot clock violation. Great defense there by Durham. That will give them some confidence.
It really was, and they are a good team. They do have good players that can play. They're just not quite in their stride at the moment. I mean, that was a lovely look from Brown to Putra under the hoop. Time was out. I think maybe Kirsty just hadn't realised what the time was on the shot clock.
Yeah, when she caught the ball there, she was in the perfect place to see the shot clock. So again, this is where the team is so fresh. This is their first league action. They're still learning everyone, and everyone's role in the team. So it's actually probably the best time to do these type of mistakes.
No, definitely. I'm with them.
Step back. And it's off again. Kirsty Brown lets it go out.
You can see the skills there for Durham. You can see, the efforts there. It's just getting these shots, and you almost maybe think, though, instead of, settling for that outside 3-pointer, they should be looking to attack a little bit harder. It's hard against the defense. Easy for me to say sitting here, not the one down there busting my backside. But if the closer you get to the hoop, higher percentage shot, and just settle yourself and the team. Lovely pin inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Kirsty Brown now facing up. Lake and James for 3, and she makes it. Falling to the floor.
And has a seat because she was so impressed with that.
She actually did, yeah. Ariadna down on the floor there as well. Drive inside by Bennett, dishes out for Klassen for the mid-range jump shot. Still nothing going for Durham, and Putra with the rebound.
I almost feel like she almost shot that like a set shot, like she was very aware that they haven't scored, and that's where I'm like, that's when you're then out your rhythm.
That's the thing, she probably had a bit of space, she could have driven inside. Putra seals off her. She gets the rebound. She's so aggressive inside.
Indeed, and for one so young to be playing like that already, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, she spent last season in Romania. For someone who's so young, it's playing abroad. It's phenomenal. Kirsty Brown, lovely layup. Even still, even though they're 23 points up, it's the full court press every possession.
Yeah, no off minutes. You know, you've got to go out there, you've got to play hard basketball because, you know, you're going to respect the other team and that's what they want. Durham are going to want that, and they will find their score. It's just where's it going to come
good
from.
Hands by Putra. She's playing phenomenally off the bench so far. Driving inside. Oh, fouled by, I think, we'll wait for the referee's signal. That is on Griffith Wallace. So she's on to, I think now 2 fouls.
I think that was just maybe a frustration foul there because you can see she just swiped down with her hand. She hadn't moved her feet at all. But that is going to be frustrating when you can't get your offense to be going. You know, she's putting up the threes at our end. She's bringing the ball up the court. It's not quite there. But also that's where you've got to learn to just play through that. Again, absolutely. Easier said than done.
And Miguel's rolled the bench again. Omer Jones is on. Butcher misses the first free throw. Another one. Omer Jones, for someone so young, she had a good summer with GB. I think she's a Barking Abbey product. She's a phenomenal talent.
She is indeed, and you know, I had a quick chat with her before the game, and she just is really enjoying it. You know, like we all sort of say, Miguel, tough love, but that's what you need because that's what's going to grow you as a player. And you know, he genuinely cares and he's investing in you.
And the three's up, and they make it. That's a three from Griffith Wallace. And that'll be a much relief to coach and the whole team. 24-3 with 20 seconds on the clock. Kirsty Brown at the top. Lakin James guarded by Bennett. Omer Jones fakes the shot. Oh, turnover there by the Gladiators. Hendershot comes over the ball. Half court heave. And it's off. That's the end of the first quarter. 24 points to 3. It is one-sided at the moment, but the Gladiators' tempo's really good to see.
It is indeed. I think they've still got they've got levels in them, and they do have more to step up. And again, Coach Miguel moving round his bench, having a look to see what sort of rotations he likes, what's going to work today. Because it's very unusual, you know, that you can play every game at your absolute best and be smashing it. So you'll be looking to see who's turned up to play today, who's playing well, what's going well. Again, looking forward to the game against Basket Capital on Thursday. He'll be looking towards that potentially as well, but they've got to take care of today. As we saw with the men, they were up, we thought they were comfortable, it went to overtime. Credit to the Sharks for doing that. They pulled it right back. To me, I'm somebody a bit of a pessimist. I think you can never just be like, okay, this game we've kind of got it, let's play it out. They're going to keep that intensity, they're going to keep pushing it. On the Durham side, I feel like Coach David, you know, he's going to be speaking to his team. He's going to, you can tell from maybe his body language, he's not over there barking at them, being like, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. He'll be going, okay, so that's in the past, we now need to move on from that. This is what we're going to do. He'll be like, going through, this is what we do as a team, this is what our like sort of aims are, this is our objectives, this is what we've worked on. I do know quite a few of their players came in late, that's why they've not had the same pre-season. So he's going to be looking to build upon this, and he's going to be looking at the gap, and he's going to go, okay, we've had 3 points, that came in the last minute of the game, let's go out, first 2 minutes, see if we can double that score and build upon it, because that is what you're going to do. Whereas Gladiators, they're going to want to push on with this, they're going to want to put a statement of intent.
Yeah, so I think I said it was 23-3, it's actually 24-3. Dai's top scorer, 9 points for the Gladiators. We said at the top of the programme there how incredibly impressed we have been with her, and she certainly came out and showed that in those first 4 minutes.
No, she has, and I'm so glad. I was, you know, it's always good when players stick to what you think they can do, and that's exactly what she's done in this moment. Having a well-earned rest on the bench, and when you see she took MVP honours the other night, and I mean, she was coming off the back of playing sort of like not massive minutes. She had 16 minutes of play to still take away, you know, that amount of points. She had a couple of rebounds, assists. That just shows the sort of calibre of player you've got there.
Yeah, so out for this second quarter on the floor, we've got Omer Jones, Robin Lewis, I think Lakin James, Kirsty Brown and Putra. For Durham, they're going to start the quarter off with, I think, Bro, Hendershot, Bennett, Klassen, and who's at the corner there?
We have
Chukwu Etu.
I was unsure what corner you were referring to.
I know, there's 4 corners of course. Chukwu Etu puts up the 3 and it's missed. Lakin James again pushing the tempo. He pulls up for 3. Oh, misses out. Hendershot with the rebound. Oh, and fouled.
I actually think James almost had too many options there. You could see her looking. She was like, you could see Robin on the far corner. I can't quite remember who was running the same side as her. And then actually the 3 was the right option because they'd pulled the defence down.
Foul's called on Kirsty Brown there. Bennett has the ball in hand coming off over the half court line, sorry. The pressure in the defence is really good to watch.
Lovely take.
Superb. Nice layup by Bro there. She's really, you know what, put the score aside, the intensity from her is really good to see.
No, it is, and that's the thing, they are going to start dropping, and I think that's what they need to do more of, is attacking at the hoop, because unless you attack at the hoop, you're going to allow the Gladiators just, sit with their toes on the 3-point line.
Hard foul there from Bennett, looking to try and block the shot.
She knew she'd done it before she'd even hit the floor. James had hit the floor. She was already over her way to help her up.
Inline ball for the Gladiators, Robin Lewis with the ball in hand. There's something else I noticed from the game midweek was the ferocity and even like everyone's face, everyone on defence. The defence they put up against Benfica was fantastic to watch. Omer Jones saves the ball.
Great save by her.
Oh, shock. Another good defensive possession there by Durham. We touched on that. All it takes is 1-2 shots in a row. It's 24-5. Gladiators haven't scored for a minute. And it's these wee things as Coach Miguel takes a timeout. And it's these small things that Durham's coach will be looking at and be like, well, there you go, we've started making this run, and what can we go from here?
Exactly, and I think, with Miguel, Coach Miguel calling the timeout, and Coach Davey will be like, okay, look, we've come back out, we've got another 2 points on the board, that's already a massive improvement. And I don't mean that in a sort of condescending way, but that's where you've got to build upon these things. Nothing to say Durham now can't go on a run. Gladiators have had theirs, and this is how do Gladiators respond? And how do they respond, especially if they were in a tighter situation? We saw that impressive win against London Lions last year, but you only have 3 returning players, so it's like, where is the mentals of this team? Are they able to come through those adversities? Are they able to, push on? And can they do that themselves? But at the moment, who would you say is impressing yourself, Grant?
Yeah, I'm impressed by the full team so far, to be honest. It's one of those ones you're asked to put me on the spot. But looking on the floor, Sam Roscoe's intensity both ends, and making that early 3. I love what Ariadna Pujol does and her offense. She drives really quick up the court. But you could just tell it's a full kind of team effort that Miguel wants. All 12 girls are contributing. It's really good to see.
They are indeed, and I think over on the Durham side, we've also got, Katie Bennett is getting up and down the court. She's playing the minutes. You can see Klassen starting to find her way into it. Hendershot, we know she's capable. We know she can put up big numbers. It's going to be a tough day at the office when you're missing one of your players, especially as Kia Rose Harriet is. And the height she brings to the team as well. That would even help them on the glass and rebounding.
Hendershot was last Women's British Basketball League Player of the Month back in April, May time. She was the last winner last season, and she's looked quite impressive. She's obviously undersized playing against bigger girls, but she's always trying to fight on her defence and looking to get space right now.
And that's what you've got to do to be a good player. Is you've got to look at what your matchup and how best can I play
turnover there.
this.
Kirsty Brown going to the floor. She plays
What
it
hustle
to
by
Lakin James. Oh, what a gather and a basket.
I don't know if you saw her there, but you literally saw, I feel like you saw her go, right, I've got to get there. And you sort of saw the feet just move that little bit faster to get her to the hoop and
that's
finish.
just the unselfish play of this squad so far that we've witnessed. Kirsty Brown could easily have taken it the full way. She goes for the turnover and the steal there. Misses it. Klassen's driving up the court. A foul by Kirsty Brown coming back. I think that's on her. Will be a 3rd personal foul.
Yeah, you wonder why she maybe ran in such a straight line and she didn't just, I guess she's just busting to get back, and the ball's the biggest problem, right? If you don't have the ball, you can't do any damage. So I get what's happened there, but she'll be annoyed at herself.
And it's amazing just kind of the run-on effect. She's tried to get the steal down the far end as Klassen drives in. A bit undershot there. Rebound by Robin Lewis. Knocked out by Bro and inline ball. But again, that's a bit more aggressive play there by Durham. Klassen trying to drive inside. Maybe doesn't look as comfortable going up against the height that the Gladiators have if they're making a change here. Looks like you've got Dye stepping back on the floor, Roscoe and Hannah Robb as Kirsty Brown, Robin Lewis and Lakin James check out. It's 8 minutes 17 on the clock, 26-5 to the Gladiators. And then Dye's got the ball in her hands.
I think that shows Coach Miguel's confidence in the team, that he's happy to make 3 changes at a time, because that wasn't necessarily because they'd all done something wrong. That's just where he feels he can do that. He can put it in and it shouldn't upset the rhythm.
Roscoe for 2, a long range 2.
Although it looked like McGarrigan on the bench was going to want to try and give her 3 the way she stood up.
Chukwuetu with the rebound. She finds Hendershot, drives it out to Bennett for 3. Misses. Roscoe, no, who is it with the rebound? Nobody. Gladiators ball.
I will go down as a team rebound on the stat sheet. Even if you're the last one to touch, you're like, oh, it could have been mine. But yeah, good to see that happening. You know, that's because you've got a lot of players in there crashing for the ball. You saw Hannah Robb, and I think, was it Bro on the floor with her as well?
Yeah,
you know,
I
and it's
think so.
because people are getting in there and they're getting involved, and that's things you love to see.
Durham in there trying to trap and die with the ball, but who will it leave open for the Gladiators? Omer Jones with the ball against Putcher at the top. Dishes out to Ndai, looking for the screen. Oh, lovely. Oh, Putcher unlucky with the miss there. Great play on defence, and it's a foul. Bro gets foul on her.
Like her face, she's like, I don't know what the problem was there as the girls on the floor.
Foul's called on Ndai. Durham ball. This is where you get, just what we said on those runs, the testing situations there. Gladiators ended the first period very comfortable, but right now the score, no one's really scoring. Durham are playing some nice defence, forcing Gladiators to make some tough shots and commit some fouls.
Yeah, 2-2 when you're almost 3 minutes into the game. That's
Bro with the layup misses, and Ndai pushes down the floor. Good hands there by Hendershot. She's got the ball back again. She's driving inside, and right hand layup. 2 points for Hendershot.
Really nice use of her body there to be able to keep Omer Jones out.
It's 26 points to 7. Omer Jones with the ball in hand, dishes it back to Ndai, who looked to call the play. Screen set by Putra, like what last time, Ndai just blows by. Easy 2 in the layup. It doesn't matter who's in front of her, she's getting by them.
Yeah. And it just shows, you know, we're
Hannah Robb picks the ball up from the inbound.
Lovely hustle.
Ndai, she looks to do it again, drives inside, puts off to Putra, who makes the 2. Great basket. And it looks like timeout called by Coach Davey for Durham.
That's exactly the spark, and I find sparks always come from defensive intensity. You know, especially in the women's game, we don't necessarily have the big showtime dunks, the highlight reels. It comes from these other things. It comes from the hustle plays. It comes from, you know, Hannah Robb being down on the floor, scrapping for the ball and getting a turnover. Putra, lovely just finish under the hoop. You know, she's got a really nice touch in there, which that can be a difficult skill to have when you're quite young.
Yeah, for her age as well, she shows her experience and her confidence to go for that. Durham got a bit of a run there, had a couple of stops in the defensive end. But Gladiators, again, with that, just that intensity we're seeing throughout the season so far, forcing Durham's coach into a timeout.
Yep, and again, you know, positive start. There's definitely some good things to be seen. They're getting to the hoop. They're maybe not as reliant on the three-point shot at the moment, but they're going to want to be getting even more, you know, rebounding, 100% hustle.
Absolutely.
It helps if you've got the height, I'm not going to lie, but if they at least get in, if they get in amongst it, maybe, you know, the next time when the ball goes out the baseline, it'll be their ball and they'll get it back. Or maybe, you know, if you just crash it a little bit harder, you'll take that ball or it'll be fumbled, and that's all you can look to do.
Yeah, so it's Gladiators 30, Durham 7, 6 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the half. Both teams are coming back on the floor. Looks like no changes for either bench. And I think
that's something else we should highlight. You know, we've got 12 very strong and very capable players sitting on the Gladiators bench today. Durham are obviously under strength, missing a player, and also they just maybe don't have that same depth on the bench. So that's something else the coach will need to take into consideration when managing fouls, when managing fitness, managing that sort of thing as well.
Space in the corner, Chukwuetu for 3. She misses that off. She
go.
gathers her own rebound though.
Yep.
Hustles. Oh, blocked by Putra. Really impressed. But again, Chukwuetu just doesn't give up. But Putra has the ball in hand now. Dishing to Sam Roscoe, who pushes it forward to Ndai, who drives forward. Hannah Robb, corner for the 3.
Hannah Robb things, knocking down the 3-point shot.
You know what? Hannah Robb's just someone that continually impresses me. Someone who never went to the States to played age groups basketball for Scotland from under 16s to now playing Eurobasket for GB. What a talent to have in this roster. She dishes out the assist for Ndai.
And there, yep, lovely dish off. Came from the other end, Roscoe getting the ball and just putting the ball up like it was a training practice there. But yeah, credit to Hannah, she's blazing a trail, showing that actually you can come up through the Scottish system, you can play for the team, go away, do so even more, learn and elevate your game, get into the GB setup and then return home. And I think that's something she's really relishing doing.
Yeah, played really well for the Leicester Riders the last few seasons. in the league, she has the ball in her hands. As if when we talk about her, she has the ball in her hands. And the intensity she shows in both offense and defense, she really, in that first game of Eurobasket, swung it for the girls, in my opinion, to help them get that win over, I think it was Slovenia.
Yep.
Where Jones drives. Oh, hard finish. Rebound for Durham. Griffith Wallace drives up the floor. Omar Jones trying to stop her. She gets a body on her, but lovely finish.
Really nice finish onto the right hand, goes
and
down
you
the
can tell
left
she's
side.
getting a bit of confidence now. I think that's her up to about 5 points personal. You can see she's a good player. She's coming up for loads of confidence now, getting those defense stops as well. Great cut, and Sam Roscoe for two, under the basket. Great
she almost
dish.
had too much time. You can see she caught
she
it.
was unsure what to do.
Oh, right. Sometimes that can, I think, be more daunting than if you've got someone beside you going up hard.
But she's shown her versatility there, being able to shoot both inside and outside.
Definitely.
Dive, pressuring the ball, forces Bennett back into the backcourt. Hendershot with the crossover, drives inside, goes for the layup, blocked by Roscoe, out for a Durham ball. 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Maybe some people are too young for this, but that reminds me a bit of the gauntlet that you used to have in the Gladiators. You know, when if you got past one of them, you had another one. That was kind of how that helped defense went. She got past her first player, then the second, then she got blocked in the end.
Cut inside, Henderson under the basket, but Putcher's just too big for her. Chukwuetu for the... Oh, it wasn't, sorry, it was Griffith Wallace for the rebound, unlocking the putback. But Putcher's just size, just stopping Durham getting anything inside at the moment.
Oh,
good
that would
find,
have
unlucky
lovely.
there. Putcher, left-hand layup, nice play.
Just really nice footwork there to keep herself alive
Just
and then
didn't
to
give up.
pivot round and finish up on the left confidently.
Klassen driving forward, looking for Bennett for the cut. Makes the two. Lovely play there by Durham. Klassen with the nice pass through. Katie Bennett with the nice layup.
Definitely positive flashes, and you can see that they're capable.
Hannah Robb in the corner.
They're not going to want
Fakes
to
it,
leave her
goes
open.
back to Roscoe for 3. Oh, that's lovely. Those two have a really good, strong relationship. You can tell they've played before for GB or GB training stuff together. There's already that kind of connection there.
They do indeed, and you know, you can see them smiling at each other as if maybe that was something they'd done in the training ground, or maybe they've been like, look, if you set me up, I'll get you the next time.
Yeah, you saw it all the time the other night as well. They play a really good two-game there. Hendershot drives in against Putra. She's trying to find space, but again blocked. Oh, foul called by the ref. Who's it on? I think
maybe
being
just a bit too
disappointed.
much of the
yeah,
body
maybe
there.
so.
You know, you kind of saw Hendershot, Putra arms were in the cylinder, but you could argue sort of that side hip came out of it, and that's what they're
checking
looking
into
at.
the game for the first time actually. Chantel Handy. You just have to look at it. You've got Bintu Low coming on, Erin McCarrican coming on, Ariadna Pujol coming on. That's a very tall team out there right now.
Yeah, I mean, when you maybe sit and watching the stream at home, you think, oh, you know, those girls, you maybe assume they're like 5'6", 5'7", but we know for a fact Erin McGarrigan's 6'1". You know, Chantel Handy about there, Bintu Low. And it's one of these things, if you come down, tickets are readily available on the Fanbase app, you'll be able to see just for yourself, you know, how tall and how athletic these girls are.
Yeah, and I think I saw that the Gladiators, if you buy an adult ticket, kids are a quid for Thursday night's game against
How old's a child asking for a friend?
Pardon?
How old's a child asking for a friend?
I'm not sure. We'll need to find that out for when we plug it next time. But
don't think I'm passing for
Durham
that.
misses the second shot, and it is now a baseline ball. Durham in line in 14 seconds on the clock. Hendershot again. She's really impressed me. Maybe the box score won't show that, but she's been really impressive so far.
Often the most important things aren't shown in the box score.
Oh, foul. Griffith Wallace driving in. Foul, I think, was on on Pujol there. That's her first personal. She just checked back in. But we just see, as we said, already a much stronger quarter for Durham. It's 42-12, 2 minutes 49 at the clock as they're at the free throw line.
Positives for them to take into the locker room, and they'll be looking to string together now another few scores and stops, because you want to go into the locker room, you know, positive, on a high, thinking that things are going better. And also, you know, this is their first game out as a team. Lots to look at, lots to talk about.
Rebound by Roscoe.
For Coach Lee Davey to pick out the things he really wants to work on and take into the second half.
Yeah, and I suppose they finished the first quarter with 3 points. They're now on 12, so a 9-point gain against the 18 of the Gladiators. It's really impressive, the size and the strength of talent the Gladiators bring off the bench. As Bintu goes for a layup, makes it off the assist from Chantel Handy.
Yeah, they just move the ball round that sort of 3-point line really well and allow their bigs to sort of post
Durham
up.
keep the ball, almost turned it over there. Great play by Griffith Wallace. Look to use the clock, pulls up for 3, makes it. She's really beginning to get into this game and make a big difference for Durham.
Yes, and you can see that she's got that ability to just stop and pop, and that's going to be difficult to guard against when she gets into her rhythm.
Yeah, she spent 3 years at VCU, Brampton, Ontario. 24-year-old Roscoe for 3 again to reply.
Yes, feeling it today.
It's such a nice shot. She just, whether it's inside, outside, Sam Roscoe can do a bit of everything.
She sure can. And the thing is, when she's shooting from the height she is, like, that's hard to guard against because she'll shoot over a lot of players. But then if you put someone that is taller out on her, if they don't have that foot speed, she's going to burn you to the hoop.
Bennett plays it, looks for the pick and pop with Klassen. Klassen needs the help now. Bennett gives it, pull up 2. Fouled on the shot by Eddie McCarrican.
For somebody like Erin McGarrigan with her experience, you feel like that was maybe a foul I wouldn't expect her to commit. Sort of the clock's running down, it's 2.5 seconds left, and she sort of just stepped through a little bit too hard on a player who's shorter. It has been a bit of a block city out there, so maybe she thought she was going to get it, but Bennett did well to get the shot off, draw the contact, and put herself on the line, and to score the first.
Yeah, Bennett played 11 fixtures last year for Durham. She averaged 4.8 points a game last season. She'll be looking to build on that this season as she looks to make the second shot, and she doesn't, but rebound by Hendershot. Overcooks it. Roscoe with the rebound, and look at the pace. Gladiators instantly into their flow of offence.
Definitely. You can see Bro had already tracked back though on Handy.
Lovely play there. Ariana Pujol with the 2, and a lovely assist again from Chantel Handy. And the fact that she's only just checking into the floor, she's got 2 assists already. The player assistant coach makes a massive impact every time on the floor.
She does, and she will, and that's exactly why you want her in your team, because she brings that experience, she brings that knowledge. Whether you can see her talking to players on the bench. Hendershot.
Bro for 3. Well off, unfortunately, for her against. That's the difference when you're playing against taller players. You have to maybe change your shot.
Set it a little bit higher than you normally would, so which means it's going to drop earlier, so you've got to adjust. I mean, these girls are all more than capable of changing that, but in the moment, sometimes you just want to get the shot off, and you see someone taller looming down on you, it can be quite daunting.
We're into the last almost 30 seconds of the game. Chantel Handy for the layup. Low with the assist there. Lovely play. Again, such unselfish play by the girls. We're into the final less than 30 seconds to go of the half. Griffith Wallace with the ball.
I definitely get the feeling nobody in the team's chasing a specific stat, that's for sure.
She pulls up for 3. Rebound by Pujol. We've got 15 seconds on the clock. Looks like to be the last play. She slows it down. Low sets the screen, but doesn't. Takes it out to Handy for 3. Misses. Roscoe with the rebound, shoots it on the buzzer, makes it. Samantha Roscoe gets the rebound and makes the pullback too.
She is on fire. You could see she felt the confidence. You could see McGarrigan was spotting at the top, and she's like, I got this. Turn around, fade away, nails the basket.
Brilliant half for Samantha Roscoe. 13 points personal, 2 rebounds and assist. It's been a fantastic half for the Gladiators as they lead 53-16 heading into half time.
I think Coach Miguel, he'll always have things he wants to work on, as well Donnie, the other Coach Donnie. They'll also be going in and they'll have things to look at. They will see things. He sees details that other people don't necessarily see. He'll be happy, but there'll be things he wants to build on. Again, with the Durham Palatinates, they'll have other things that they're going to look at. A far more positive second quarter, like you said. But also they can be even better. Let's not pretend that this is their level, 53-16. They have other areas of their game that they can improve on as well, and they'll be looking to show.
Yeah, so we've got 40 minutes remaining of half time. The fans are getting involved in the half court. What's also great to see. Pardon?
You want to go down and have a turn, Grant?
I don't think anyone wants to watch me shoot the ball, but it's great to see. Obviously, the women came in later on before their game, watched the guys play, and now you've got the men's team staying behind to watch the girls play.
Yeah, and I think that's very important when you're trying to build a club ethos with the fan zone outside. The fans were able to meet the main players afterwards. There was an interview with Coach Murray, and all that is creating a really nice ethos, and it's creating a really nice environment that people want to come down, they want to spend their time here, and it doesn't hurt that the naturals are also excellent.
Yeah, you just have to look at it. Patrick Whelan's there with his family, Kyle Johnson's got his kid, and it's just great to see this kind of whole ethos the club are really setting up. people interacting. It's just you got the mascot on the court as well.
Maximus and Minimus, that did crack me up.
I mean, I had my daughter at the first game for the men's, and she was obsessed by it. Absolutely delighted she likes the mascot. And it's just a whole event for the whole family. You've got things going on all the time, from brilliant product on the floor, 2 great rosters the club have recruited, to the whole light shows. The fan zone's phenomenal. It's really setting the club up nicely.
It is indeed, and I think if you get the chance to travel up to Scotland or come along, I can't recommend it enough.
Right, so we're going to take a break. It's 53 points to 16, and we'll see you for the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back to the amphitheatre. I am joined at the top of this of the half-time by Annie McNeely, who is probably the best thing out of Canada since Tim Hortons. Welcome, Annie.
Thank you,
You've
Rona.
been watching this first half of the game. What has impressed you today?
Well, I think the Gladiators came out with great energy. They're obviously on a high off the win on Wednesday against Benfica. Great team basketball they're playing. They've got 13 assists. They're really hustling, 26 rebounds. Just great energy from the Gladiators.
It's made for a really nice viewing, hasn't it? What do you think Coach Lee Davey is going to look to make change-wise to have some sort of immediate impact within this game to sort of, help them be on this more positive run like we saw in the second quarter?
I think Durham in the second half potentially just grabbing more rebounds. I mean, it's 26-16 in rebounds, grabbing more rebounds, attacking the basket. They were drawing more fouls from the Gladiators, so keeping that up, and maybe just getting some more ball movement, getting more assists, getting their assists up.
Yep, and some Eagle viewers and maybe those who are stalwarts of supporting the women's team, they'll maybe notice the lack of the Zoe Sharps, the Sally Campbells that were in the team last year. Obviously recruitment has been awesome, and you can see from the players on the floor they're of an excellent standard. What sort of impact do you think having the academy system that the Gladiators have now set up on the men's and women's side is going to help for these players?
It is a good system that both the men and women's side have with the high performance. I think just getting to know the systems that the BBL and the WBBL are going to be playing. They sit behind our benches, so they get to hear what Coach Miguel is saying. So just a little more, higher level input, so that when they potentially move through and get to play, they'll already have that knowledge.
Yeah, I really love the mantra. You can't be what you can't see. They can definitely see it. They've literally got courtside seats to see what that next level looks like. Well, Annie, thank you for your time, and we're going to hand back over to Grant.
That's great. Thanks for having me.
So we are just 30 seconds out from the start of the second half. Very briefly, Grant, you and I were talking at the half about, just looking at the stats and looking at those bench points. Gladiators 20 points off the bench to Durham's 2. How positive a thing is that for Coach Miguel?
Yeah, I think it's huge. You just look at the confidence he's got to go really deep in his bench. When you're bringing off the bench talent such as Chantel Handy, Ariana Pujol, Kirsty Brown, it's actually interesting as the girls step back on the floor. Three of the girls I've just said are now starting the second half. It's a superb depth of talent this roster has.
Definitely, and you can see the height down there as well that they've got. We've talked about that. We've also looked at the fast break points, 18 to Caledonia's advantage to Durham's 2. I wouldn't say Durham look like a much slower team or they're not getting up, but I think that's testament to how quickly Gladiators transition back into their defence, and consequently, that they push out on the fast break themselves.
The transition defence of the Gladiators fantastic, fronting up really well. And we're about to start the third quarter. Ariadna pulling the ball in, and Bintu will give it back to her. So 53-16 as the third quarter starts. As we see if there's a difference to the intensity of Durham's defence, which actually wasn't off. It was just a superb start by the Gladiators first half. Kirsty Brown drives inside, looks right hand scoop underneath, fouled. We'll go to line for 2.
I thought she was going to come for the up and under, but I thought she would have maybe taken the extra step, whereas she seemed to stop quite dead underneath the basket.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just I don't have the skill set to be able to put the hook shot.
But also by doing that as well, she's likely to draw the foul.
Definitely.
And the chance of getting a hand one, but she will go to line for 2. And misses the first.
We also, pushing on, looking at the GB stuff. Kirsty Brown is someone who's been involved in that setup. I'm sure Coach Bicetta, he'll be watching these games. He'll be checking out how his normal players are playing, seeing who's on form, looking at who to bring into camp as well.
I mean, you've got 3 GB players on the floor. Okay, Chantel's hung up the jersey as such for now, as she leads the under 20s team last summer. Bintu goes for the steal, Hendershot, but seeing Erin and Kirsty Brown and obviously Hannah Robb, Samantha Roscoe, you cannot be not impressed by so far. Klassen drives the baseline, stops, plays it back out. Clock's ticking down. Bro goes for the long range 3, misses, rebound Kirsty Brown. And again, the tempo to start the third quarter, impressive by the Gladiators.
Bro's had a few of those shots today, and they've been so deep, you know, and you just think surely there could have been a better option. Ooh, that was so close to the halfway line. There could have been a better option.
Puyol kicks it out. Chantel Handy drives right-handed, dishes it off to Bintu to Kirsty Brown. Goes, shot clock ticking down. Chantel gets the ball back in hand, and it's off the hoop. Bintu for the rebound. She saves it. No, she doesn't. Referee calls it out of bounds. Durham ball.
I just had to do a little lift in my seat to check there was nobody sitting there.
I know, hopefully
like,
nobody get crashed into.
Yeah.
Griffith Wallace, who really came into it second quarter there, has the ball in hand. She crosses half court. Puyol, she drives by her, picks it up. Hendershot for the layup, fouled and won. She was someone that really kind of came into the game second quarter, and she's going to the line for the and one.
She is indeed, and you know, you could say maybe Pujol questioning that call, but that's going to get called when you're coming across swinging. It's an easy one for the referees, whether contact's made or not.
And it was a great play at the top there by Griffith Wallace, who drove in, found Hendershot cutting to the basket, and she doesn't make the and one. Again, the tempo's coming high. Bro tries to get from behind. Handy plays it into Kirsty Brown, who dribbles round, scoops. Oh, brilliant finish.
Just making light work of that in there. You can see Durham are kind of sitting in a zone there, but just, you know, 3 players playing back. You can see Hendershot having to turn her head a lot, and that just means the positioning slightly off, because you should really be able to see more of the court.
And I suppose it's also the length in which Kirsty Brown plays at. It's really difficult for a defender to try and stop her and get at the ball. Bro again for the 3. Great defence there by Kirsty Brown, forcing her to kind of shoot over her. Puyol drives. McCarrican.
She even had me fooled on that one. She was looking at her, but she dished it down to
underneath the hoop. Oh, foul. A bit of a late whistle there by the official, but it's called, and Bintu will go to the line shooting for 2.
Yeah, just really nice the way they work the ball round, and they look to get the right angle to put the ball into post, because that is so important. I mean, if you're at the top of the key and the person's posting down in the block, it might be tempting to send the ball, but it's so easy for defenders to pick off, and you can see how they move the ball around to get that angle, to put it in, and it allows her to make the first free throw.
And a good start to the quarter for Bintu in both ends of the floor. Will she make the second one? She doesn't. Rebound by Klassen for Durham, and she'll look to pull the ball up the court. (4-2) the start of this third quarter. Great cut there into the corner. Bennett for 3, makes it. Tough shot, but brilliant play by Durham, moving the ball around. They're also looking at a team when they actually have moved the ball, they've got a lot of success.
I think that's something we were talking about beforehand, isn't it? That team basketball is always going to prevail. You know, you can have your lovely.
McCarrigan shoots the 2, steps inside past Hendershot and makes the 2. And we talked last season, Erin was the top scorer for this team. And Miguel's touched on it already, and actually so has Erin. Any night, anyone can really step up. Whereas last season, maybe with not as much depth to the team, Erin McCarrigan really had to kind of step up. And I think she was 14.7 points a game.
She did, and she really shouldered that responsibility, you know, and that's just what she does. She's, you know, a great person and a great player, and she's got such a smart head on her.
Yeah, and she kind of, with her performance last season, forced herself to be included in the GB Eurobasket squad as well, which was testament to herself fighting to get back in that.
Indeed, and you know, she really enjoyed her time. I caught up with her over summer, and you know, she said how much she enjoyed it and what a great experience it was. And you know, you're never very sure as a player. She's one of these people that never takes anything for granted, and said, you know, I never knew if I would get another turn. I did, and she went and she worked her socks off, as we know she does, and it paid dividends.
Bro misses the second one.
Like to have seen her get more court time, but I'm not the coach.
Of course. Mid to top, dishes it back to Ariadna, who's calling for the screen now. Bennett, some brilliant defence. Hendershot comes out to help. That means someone will be open somewhere. Yep. Ball movement's really well. Good for the Gladiators. Bintu drives inside. Lefty finish. She's really come out third quarter fighting.
She has indeed. And just like you said, there was that double team. So you're like, there must be a player open somewhere. They found it. Again, Bintu low, really nice footwork. And just makes it look easy. I think
foul
that's
around half court.
Sign of a good player. When they just make it look easy like that.
Yeah, Bintu played for Zamarat in Spain last season, which I think was their second division. So this is someone obviously Miguel Ortega must have known about and think you need a better opportunity to show yourself. Difficult inbound play there from Durham, and they turn it over. They probably lacked a bit of patience there, just trying to rush the offense.
Yeah, and just trying to put in high loopy balls against this Gladiators team today is not going to be what's going to win you the points. It's not going to be what's going to keep you possession. So you just have to be smart on that.
6:42 on the clock, 62-22. The Gladiators are up. McCarrigan turns down the 3, drives, dishes it to Bintu, who again drives herself, pull up, back to McCarrigan, overcooks it. But that's that unselfish play again we've talked about countless times tonight. It's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, and that's not a McGarrigan thing to miss that sitter, but it's going to happen, right? You can't score every shot, you can't miss every shot.
Durham again looking to get into their set. Hendershot with the screen. Griffith Wallace looking for help. Klassen dishes it back to Hendershot, but turnover. Great defence there by Eddie McCarrigan. Ariana Puyol tries to pace. Went for the half-court pass to Bintu, who's unable to claim it back.
Court just wasn't long enough. That was one of those situations where the
and this is where we're talking about the strength and depth of the Gladiators. You're about to have 4 players check back into the game.
Yep, and you can see Coach Miguel, they are up by 40 points, fast maths for me, but he's still wanting to look at things. He's not sitting down on his seat and just like relaxing. He's like still looking at things. You can see the way he's gesturing, you can see his body language. He's still looking for more.
And how he's even just coaching Bintu there, stepping off, because it's not just for this game, it's Europe midweek, it's the next league game after that, and it's all about just building the players into the system as well.
And props to him for that. They're doing a lot of coaching in Spanish, they're doing a lot of coaching in English, and he's just
Hendershot drives in. Great defense by Putra. Late call, but right call. Putra maybe trying to go for too much.
I think just again coming out that cylinder, and maybe that's that's something she will learn with age, because she does have great fundamentals. She does play really good defense, and it's just that last little look. Hendershot, the more experienced, mature player, is going to know more so how to draw that contact.
Yeah, and you actually just saw there Coach Miguel Ortega turn to Putra and almost just say calm down, think smart, as Hendershot misses the first one.
And I think that sometimes as well, coming off the bench, like, right, want to get out there, want to show whatever it is, the wee coaching points you've maybe had from the team, and then you go out and you're like, okay, you should just need to breathe, you need to take your time.
Hendershot last season for Durham averaged almost 12 points, 10 rebounds, so she makes a massive impact on this squad. Makes the second one as Robin Lewis, who's just checked back in, has the ball, goes up past half court, looks for Lakin James, who stops, looking for help. Like, you look at it, the defense has really stepped forward from Durham. They're not allowing them to set their offense.
They're playing a high sort of pressing zone, and that is causing some problems.
Dish off, Putra, lovely again. Kirsty Brown driven inside, plays the assist off to Putra, and she just, again, nice finish.
That sort of high defensive zone they've got going on, it is making it tougher for Gladiators. They then went and scored a really nice, easy bucket, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to crack it. Nice step back. Griffith Wallace, you can see that calibre of player like you mentioned, and that's something though you're going to want to do. You're going to want to stop her, but she's going to want to get going, and she's making her own looks.
We get a foul called. Klassen reaching in from behind there, and Putra, who's kind of set herself really well under the basket.
Klassen, you can see, just didn't have possession and just gave a little bit too much, pushing Putra off her feet a little, making that an easy call for the referee because they're standing right there on the baseline with them.
Griffith Wallace up to 10 personal for Durham. She's been really impressive after that first quarter, missing her first few shots. Robin Lewis with the ball. Again, look at the ease for Putra inside. And this is what we touched on at the top. Gladiators with the size advantage, really taking advantage of the inside play. Whether it's Bintu, Kirsty Brown, Avina Putra, it's great to see that kind of versatility as well as the outside shot.
Griffith Wallace again, coming up, finding her own shot. You're thinking maybe should be looking to run the clock down a little bit more. Maybe just a little bit too quick to pull the trigger there.
Yeah.
Sitting back in their man.
It's 13-9 in the third period so far, so a much bit stronger period from Durham, but maybe there's a bit of patience, doesn't need to rush the shot, work the offense, but she's obviously feeling like she's a hot hand for Durham and needing to force those shots as Lakin James takes the 3 at the end of the buzzer. Rebounded by Chikuetu, and Hendershot takes it past the half court. Extra pass for Klassen, who drives inside. Travel called by the referee.
It's like a little split step as she went, and I was like, nah.
It was a really late call as well, so I thought the same. Timeout called by Durham. It is 3:53 in the clock. Gladiators up 66-25. What do you think Durham will be looking at coming out of this timeout?
I think, their defence has been causing some problems. Gladiators have been patient in the offence, not letting it upset them. They're going to come up against various offences. I think, you can see Coach David down there is a little bit more animated. So I think, they're going to want to, take more time. Take more time when they get into their own half. Move the ball around. Make the Gladiators work. Make them have to be tired and play, defence to the last moment. Because that's at the moment what Gladiators are doing to them.
Yeah, and it's looking at the kind of team stats as well. Sorry there, Rona. They've got 10 of their points from the paint. It's something they've probably not looked to get in as much. Probably put off by the size. But when they've taken that extra pass, people like Henderson and Klassen have been able to get a look at.
They have, and although we've talked about, there's been quite a few blocks put up. We feel like there's been more that are on the stats. But if you don't go in, you don't know what's going to happen. And they've still managed to get, like you say, they've got those points in the paint, so they are getting the looks. It can just be a little bit daunting. Get them off their feet, fake them, then go up. They're more than capable. Hold them off on your back. Use your body smartly, and we've seen them do that at times. And that's what they want to keep capitalising on.
So it's Gladiators ball. Robin Lewis, Lakin James, Evina Putra, Kirsty Brown and Hannah Robb in the game for the Gladiators. It always fascinates me how teams come out and what really coaches talk about at timeouts, whether they concentrate on the offense end or the defensive end. So it'll be interesting to see which of either coach makes a big change.
I also think sometimes they don't look at anything, they just give their players a minute. Whether that's because they're doing really well or if it's going awful, it's just like breathe, settle yourselves, calm down.
Robin Lewis for three, misses it. Kirsty Brown goes chasing after the rebound, goes up for it, and at the second attempt makes the two.
That was some really nice hustle play, and that's what you call sticking with it. And I've heard that, I don't know her personally, but I've heard that she's just a worker. She gets out there, she does anything that's asked of her, and she just...
Oh, not getting over mid-court quick enough, 8-second violation. Yeah, Kirsty Brown, such a positive person. She was on Gladcast previewing the season. Her positivity comes across, her determination comes across, and you saw that there in a hustle play. She passed the ball to Robin Lewis and went instantly looking for that rebound.
Indeed.
Robin Lewis.
Katie Bennett.
Cutting inside.
Not to be expected or caught.
Oh, short. Gets her own rebound, Kirsty Brown. Robin Lewis looks to set up the offense again. Putra's got three on her. Dishes back, Kirsty Brown fakes the shot, drives, looking for help, dishes it off. Oh, hook shot, misses over Hannah, but Lakin James hungry for it, but not back in the hands of Durham.
Can you be too unselfish? I feel that was too unselfish.
Lakin James again getting her hands on the ball. And that's something that I'm really impressed by Lakin James, her hunger, fight, where it doesn't matter if it's offense, defense, you can see her there. Smiling that she almost got it, we can tell she just wants that ball back.
Yeah, when you're putting in that effort, you would really like to keep it in. You're just like, oh. But anyway, I was really intrigued to see how she's going to play, because at Pride she obviously was such a key piece. She did so much scoring and defensive work and everything for them, but she's fitted in really nicely with this team.
And that's, I suppose, a difference when we look at the quality. And a three goes up from Griffith Wallace again. Unfortunately doesn't drop. Robin Lewis pushing the tempo, calling the play. Kirsty Brown making herself available, handoff to Lakin James. Screened by Putra, looking for the roll, doesn't happen. Finds her eventually, she's got three around her, fouled hard. Will be shooting two.
It's an interesting choice there from James, because like you say, there was the three players around Putra. You can see we had Robin Lewis and Kirsty Brown sitting out in the 3-point line. Whether they maybe went for a wee pick and roll, pick and pop, or just themselves, pulled the trigger on that shot, but, they've put it inside, they've put another foul on Durham's side. Putra's at the line for two. And
again, we're saying this because of the amount of unselfish play from the Gladiators we're seeing. You can just see the point spread is throughout the whole team at the moment. It really sets up the season nicely. Putra makes the first free throw. I've got to say her shoes are very impressive as well.
Do that's one of those things, you're an old player when you're like, wow, there's so much variety in shoes now. Whereas when I was younger, you either got it off, East Bay, or you got the one or two pairs that were in Glasgow Foot Locker, whereas nowadays, there's so many options, so many shoe brands, it's amazing.
She's playing some good defence, Putra on Bennett, but she frees herself, misses. Rebound by Lakin James. Again, it's intensity. Putra makes herself available inside.
Hendershot just looking to control the paint in there, keep them outside.
Robin Lewis shoots the three. Scoreless so far. Griffith Wallace drives up the court. Well, she looks to share the ball, but she goes for the basket. Hannah Robbs grabs her slightly. Foul called. She's frustrated there with that call.
She is indeed, and you can see why, because she was placing herself in the right place. Griffith Wallace did really well though to turn her body into a sort of off balance, sort of not the right shot you would maybe look to take, but she knew what she was doing. She knew she was likely to draw the contact, and that's what she has done.
Yeah, she probably instead of putting her hands straight up, she's just moved forward, touched the hip of Griffith Wallace, and she makes the first free throw. And makes them both. 70-27, a minute and 40 seconds on the clock. Robin Lewis calling the play again, looking for Hannah Robb. Lakin James cuts inside into the corner. Robin Lewis drives baseline, dishes it off. I thought she was going to go up herself.
Lovely.
But again, the unselfish play, gets herself an assist and puts her again with the bucket.
And it's just options. You can just see how this offense is set up, that there's consistently multiple options. They're not really setting loads of pick for the one shot. There's just constantly different people rolling, different people available.
Avina Putra's on 15 personal. She's been fantastic off the bench. She looks to seal herself inside again. Robin Lewis back to Omer Jones, who shoots for three. It drops. That's her first points of the game.
That's why she did it, because you're like, that's early in the offense, but she obviously was like, nah, she's caught it and she knew.
But it's the confidence throughout the whole team. Everyone trusts each other to make those shots. That just shines off the court there when everyone wanted to take a shot or make the pass or something extra. Blocked by Putra as Griffin Wallace drives in, but she gathers her rebound, steps back. It's a two if it goes. Rebound hustle on the floor by Hannah Robb. Impressive again. It's that never die attitude again from Hannah Robb as she falls on the floor. Lakin James for three. Oh, and it's just off. This is maybe where Miguel might look to slow it down a wee bit. But last shot potential of the quarter. The Hendershot turns. Bennett with the ball looking for some help. Hendershot drives inside. Right hand layup misses.
That'd be on left.
It's gone to Durham.
On the left hand side of the basket. On that right hand layup, I had to be like, that was on her left hand side.
I don't know.
You've got baby brain like me.
But no
sentences
excuse.
do not come out at the moment sometimes.
Two on her. Goes for the shot, misses it. Pressing the clock. Robin Lewis from half court. Not enough on it, and that's the end of the third quarter. Gladiators 75. Durham 27. We're going to be heading into our final 10 minutes here. Rona, what's kind of stood out for you through that quarter there for the Gladiators?
I really like the passing. I am so big on passing. I know everyone wants to get the points. They want to know how many points to score, but just the way they're moving the ball around, regardless of what defense Durham are putting out, they're just, moving the ball. They're finding the looks inside. Now, we know they're undersized, Durham, against the Gladiators, so it's not always going to be as straightforward as that. But I think, if that's what's working in this game, that's what's working in this game. And that's what you've got to do. You play to your strengths. Yeah, we
touched on it at the start. Durham, obviously, missing a player tonight would make a big difference inside, especially coming against the size that Gladiators have. But what do you think Miguel will be saying? We're obviously almost 50 points up, heading into the final 10 minutes. Yeah, what will Coach Ortega be looking for?
Potentially stop fouling. I think the Gladiators are still racking up quite a lot of fouls, and it's lazy is maybe a bit of a strong word, but is it maybe because they're not moving their feet? Are they not getting into position? They've got a defensive ethos. Why is that maybe not doing enough work for them? They're holding them to 27 points, but they've racked up over double figures in fouls. Why is that the case? What do they need to sort of tweak? What do they need to do differently to keep those fouls down? Because there's going to be games where the score is going to be tighter, and they're going to be really important. If you've got someone like Samantha Roscoe, who's maybe having a great shooting night, but she's picked up 4 fouls, that's going to be impactful. Not that we ever want to see games go to overtime, but if that's going to happen, you don't want players sitting on 3, 4, or even 5 fouls and already out of the game. So that may be something they'll look to adapt. Durham on the other side, as the game's going on, you can see they're growing into it, they're learning, they're doing different things. They're going to want to build upon this for their next game as well.
And I suppose even just we touched on it during that quarter, the defence stepped up from Durham. It wasn't sitting back, it was really challenging the Gladiators to make that extra pass, that really unselfish play there. And it'll be interesting to see as this 10 minutes go what both squads can take from this. That quarter ended 22-11 in the Gladiators' favour, but it felt like it was a closer game.
It did indeed, and that's all you can do as a coach. You can then look at the quarter-by-quarter breakdowns to see, what did we do differently there, what happened there, speak to the players, like why do you think that was a better quarter, what do you think didn't go right in the first quarter. Potentially, Gladiators have just coming out and they've given them a shock with intensive defence.
Yeah, and especially after the last season, both matchups are really close, decided by 2-3 points. Klassen goes inside, she's been unlucky inside a few times, gets her own rebound and puts it back. And that's actually her first 2 of the game.
We expected maybe to see a little bit more from her, but again, embedding herself in, got to go out when people bring
Omer
in.
Jones open 3. She knew that going again. She was already moving. Impressive from Omer Jones. Turnover. She keeps it in from Putra, who goes Chantel Handy under the basket. We almost missed that one, and we're here.
And Coach Lee Davey, you can understand that's when he's then going to be annoyed, because that just comes down to unsmart basketball. Just passing the ball in, not making sure it's secure, and letting them go out there and score.
Yeah, so timeout by
You'll
Durham.
have higher standards than that.
Absolutely. Neil will be looking to tidy that up. That was a quick 5 points there for the Gladiators to start this final period.
I also wonder, it's something we maybe do as coaches, but you maybe set my target right. Do not let Gladiators get above X amount of points, and I want us to be above at least X amount of points. So, you make those mini goals, because you've got to keep, players motivated and want to keep working. I'm sure the players are motivated. They're going to go out and play at home next week, to Sheffield, so they're going to want to win a good show for their home crowd. And Sheffield, they've had quite a few changes coming in, and they're going to want to, Sheffield off the back of a big win against the Nottingham Wildcats. So they're going to be feeling confident. Durham want to go into that feeling positive.
Yeah, so we head into Tottenham next week. Both Gladiator squads have massive European adventures. First up on the Wednesday at home, both games at home, so get yourself down to the amphitheatre here at PlaySport. The men's team take on Anwil Blokovec, hopefully that's okay, pronunciation, on Wednesday at home, and then the girls take on Capital Namur of Belgium on Thursday. Both games tickets are available on the Fanbase app.
And it's amazing just to see European basketball in Scotland. Luckily for this one, I am too young to have remembered European basketball in Scotland, although I'm sure some people do.
Oh, that won't be watched. Coach Davey once out the timeout. A turnover off the inbound. This again, it's the presence of defence there.
And that's from 2 experienced players. That's Hendershot to Griffith Wallace. That's not what you should be expecting from them.
Yeah, that's from their 2 kind of leaders so far in this game. You'd hopefully did keep the ball. And Dai back on the floor here to start the final quarter. Calling the player Omer Jones, going for it again. She's got the confidence and she nails it. Look at the bench reaction. The bench are up, celebrating. They're loving what the Omer Jones doing. Look at her now, defence in transition. Oh, great hustle by Bro as well, and it's a jump ball and it goes to the Gladiators. What a blistering start to this final quarter.
Yeah, and Omer Jones is, she's coming out, that's 3 threes in a row, and then you would like to say her defence there just put Bro off, because, she was moving her feet, she was staying active. She's got a long wingspan, and then it caused her to turn the ball over, and her team to Omer Jones to get it back.
9 points personal for Omer Jones as Chantel Handy turns it over as Avina Putra wasn't looking her way. And that's the competitor Chantel Handy. It's 83-29, and she's letting Putra know that you've done that. Where are you?
Keep pushing. The day you stop pushing.
Oh, that's another one. Durham really forcing it out of the inbounds to start this quarter, and they turn it over again.
Yeah.
You're thinking that coming out of these things, coach would look for it to be a lot more simpler. There's no need really to force these kind of hard inbound plays.
8:48 to go. They're probably tired. They do not have a deep bench. The players are playing big minutes. You've got Hendershot on 30, Katie Bennett just about 30, Klassen 30.
Hendershot, great steal on Omer Jones, cutting inside. Sorry to interrupt you there, Rona. And it's well played. Hannah Robb draws the charge.
I really like how she absorbed the contact of the charge but kept playing the ball as she failed to take the ball with her. I think that was in case the referee called her for the block, like, I've got the ball.
And every time I see Hannah Robb play, the defence she adds to any team, she quite often guards the other team's best guard. She's just phenomenal in that intensity. Gladiators turn it over. Bennett goes for 2. She's fouled by Chantel Handy, and she'll go for the line for 2. But yeah, going back to Hannah Robb, she just continually impresses me. Anytime I saw her at Leicester playing, if it was against London or playing for in her GB jersey, her defence really stands out.
It doesn't. Defence is hustle, isn't it? Anyone can go play defence. You've just got to work your socks off, and defence will always get you into a team. And then she's obviously got her 3-point shot. that's not going to not help matters as
Yeah,
well.
and you saw that on both ends when she played the kind of 3x3 at the Commonwealth Games as well. She was instrumental for Scotland in that one as well. Missed free throws by Durham, but the rebound gathered in by Class. Great hands there from Omer Jones. She cuts it off.
Are we going to get a fourth?
She's looking for it. She's going to go up. No, she dribbles it off. Classing up against her. Hannah Robb fakes the shot, steps back. Pressure on her, misses the shot.
I wondered almost if there was a piece on that, but that was smart by Kian. You know, she knows everybody's waiting on her to shoot that shot again because she's just nailed the three. But, you know, she played the ball round, again, unselfish play. Tough shot from Hannah Robb, doing the fake, the pull back, sort of almost fade away 3-point shot.
And with Durham only really going 6 girls deep, they're looking for a bit more depth to the roster. They're obviously down 1 as they make the 3. Really caught me off guard there, that 3, but quicken the shot clock. But that's maybe what they've got to also try at times to do to change the momentum. Omer Jones, that was
miss. She can miss.
She can miss.
Didn't feel like she was the way she strung those ones through.
Janica. Griffith Wallace trying to drive inside now to make the difference for her team. Rebound picked up. And Dye goes the long way round. Klassen picks up the rebound. She drives forward. Game's really loose at the moment. Turnover.
You kind of get the feeling there's a bit of a vibe on within the game, you know, that they're like, okay, it's 50 points, they're up by. Players maybe looking to play it out.
Yeah, it very much feels that. You've got 7 minutes on the clock. Durham do look like to be on the
Although
tiring.
I'd like to draw your attention to the Gladiators bench. They look like they're still locked in, don't they? Every single player's watching. There's no laughing and giggling, you know. They're like ready to go if coach calls on them.
And that's, I suppose, will set them up really nicely for those tougher, bigger games potentially against Putra with her own rebound. Gathers it, spins round, puts the 2 in. And another tight inbound there from Durham trying to push it. Bennett drives, blocked by Hannah Robb. Some phenomenal defending. She stays in bounds just. And then Dye's got her hands on the ball.
Nice run into the floor by Putra, and lovely work by Dye to find her.
She's
there.
up to 19 personal and just slowly going about it, really showing herself in the middle as the inside's open. Kate Bennett dishes it out. Klassen for 3. Makes it. She's slowly beginning to come into this game as an offensive threat.
Nothing but net there from her as well.
So almost 6 minutes to go, 87-35. Gladiators still looking to set their offense well. Cut inside Hannah Robb. Fouled Hendershot. And she'll go to line shooting 2.
Cutting through the key like cake is probably my best reference. It's always got to be about the food. But yeah, the way they're front cutting, and that's something maybe Durham will need to look at, is to stop those cuts, put a body on them and bump them through and not let them cut in front, because the minute you let a player cut in front of you, they're going to catch the ball and it's much easier for them to get their position, turn around and shoot.
Yeah, I think they're on 12 fouls for the game, Durham, so they potentially could have used more of their fouls to help them get stops. Inbound, that's a much safer inbound there from Durham as Bennett been brilliant. Oh, she crosses over. Omer Jones looks to drive, dishes it out. 3 is up, 3's missed. Hendershot hustles but doesn't gather the ball in, and it's a Gladiators ball at the sideline.
I'd say, you know, Putra's been outstanding today. You wonder if she's maybe a little bit tiredness creeping in there as the ball went to the sideline.
She's played over 22 minutes tonight. She's probably going to end up being on the floor the longest, and for someone that young, finding her steps in a new country, it's really impressive to see. Really battling hard with class inside, and Dye drives, dished out to Omer Jones, high shooting 3, misses it, gets her own rebound, looks off the foot of Klassen, and it's a Gladiators ball. And checking back in for the Gladiators is Pujol, Roscoe, McCarrigan and Kirsty Brown. And you just have to look at the girls coming off, the conversations that are happening. They understand this is a whole process and journey for this season.
They do, and you're only as good as your weakest player. Not that I'm saying any of them are weak, but you're going to have to play them through. And having a sort of busier schedule with the European games, you're going to have to go 1 through 12. And I think that's why you see them all staying locked in, because of the way Coach McGill. Oh, lovely cut by McGarrigan. Nice block by Bennett against the taller McGarrigan. But to go back to my point, the way Miguel rotates around his players, you just don't know. He's not got a methodical sort of way of, right, when it gets to this point, I'll put them in. So the players have got to stay switched on. They've got to make sure they know what's going on, because if he puts you on and you're not performing, be back off.
Inbound play, let's see how it's run. They're struggling with time. Just get it in time. Sam Roscoe to Omar Jones. Kirsty Brown giving herself available. Great drive. Dishes to Kirsty Brown. Might have been a shot, but it's a miss. Kirsty Brown misses that one as well, and it's a rebound by Klassen. Oh. And foul on 10, Omar Jones.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I thought she was going for the hook shot, but then it landed in Brown's hands. So I was like, lovely pass.
If it got in, that's definitely down as an assist.
Yeah. It's like an air ball when it lands in someone's hand. You're like, that took exactly what I meant.
I suppose it's like a guy open layup, missing it to get the rebound yourself. Stat padding.
I am
foul on the floor. McCarrican. I think it was Klassen who looked to drive inside there.
And this is kind of what I was talking about. They're amassing these fouls that you're like, okay, in that sort of situation, it didn't seem like anyone was a real threat. Why the hands?
And that's maybe the frustration, if there is one, of this game. Some cheap fouls have gone against them. Maybe just not that focus with the score being as it is. Bennett looking to find Hendershot inside, who does.
Nice dish out.
Looking for Griffith Wallace, who steps back. She misses the three. And Pujol drives and pushes down the floor. Omar Jones gathers it in. She checks back. And they look to get the offense flowing again. McCarrican look to set up for the shot again. She drives inside looking for help. Pujol pass. Oh, what a lovely pass.
Yeah.
Kirsty Brown under the basket. Again, Ariana Pujol could easily have gone up for that shot herself, but she looked for the easier pass to give her teammate the best shot.
And just a really nice pass as well. It was measured. She thought about it. It wasn't just like a random dish and hope she caught it. Put the ball on the floor, made sure it went with force.
Drive inside, extra pass to Klassen. She makes it. Another 2 for Klassen.
Yeah, nice work again by Durham. Played
She's
the ball
up to 7
round
points.
And got that open look. You just feel like they could have done with that earlier in the game as well, whereas they were so reliant at first on just jacking up the three and it wasn't falling for them. Whereas when they're moving the ball around, they're having far more success.
And this is it. You can see now, maybe with the clock ticking, a bit of time coming off the clock here by the Gladiators. Omar Jones misses the shot, rebounded by Pujol, but missing the shot clock. Klassen driving all the way, drives up, pulls up for the shot. Misses. That's probably one she should have just kept going.
Yep, I think that was one of those ones, maybe take it in and then retreat dribble, bring it back out, set something up.
Oh.
Can I just say as well, shout out to the players on the baseline, the hype squad, that's what they're called. They're down there and they are shouting their hearts out. I don't know about you, I can hear them with my earphones in.
Yes.
And CG in their defense, and I think that's awesome to see them at such a young age out there getting this crowd going. Like, props to them.
And it's brilliant. Obviously we had an overtime game earlier where the men's team came out triumphant over the Sheffield Sharks, and it's great to see so many people stay on in the Sunday night, which is a different start time.
Exactly, and it's also, for a lot of them, maybe WBL is a new thing to see, especially although the teams were under the same banner last year. There was only 2, maybe 3 games where they played together at the Emirates, and there was such a big time in the middle and you had to leave the entire arena. Whereas this year with the setup, with the fan zone, you can go out there and then come back, and it makes a huge difference. And I just think, it'll allow more people to see women's basketball, or maybe those who've only watched the women's, they'll maybe be encouraged to come along a little bit earlier to the men's.
Yeah, that's something I really like to see midweek of the game against Benfica was, I didn't know how many people I would know from the game, but it was great to see the kind of Scottish basketball community out to support the girls' play.
It was a bit like a who's who of
and
Scottish basketball at one point.
It was just a great crowd, such a loud crowd on Wednesday night there, and the girls showed that in their performance as well. So it'll be, as the season goes on, get yourself down to the amphitheatre at Play Sport to check out a game. A fantastic game night, a fantastic fan zone to come to before half-time and after the game. So yeah, get yourselves along to catch a game. We've got just under 3.5 minutes to go. It's 91 points to 37. As you said, Rona, both teams, especially the Gladiators, still looking locked in. And I suppose this is one of these moments, someone yourself who's played, when the score is out like this, what are the focuses?
Whatever the coach tells me. whatever coach says, that's what I'm out there trying to do. But no, they'll have things they want to look at. They might, they'll still be working, and there's still lots to do, whether it be on their defensive end or offensive end. You can see they're spreading the scoring well. He's spreading the time well, so it's like, what do you do in that time to help your team?
Bennett pulls up for 3, misses off. Danica Griffith-Wallace gathers a rebound. She looks to play hard on Hannah Robb, drives inside. Great finish under the basket.
Tough finish.
Some good defense there for the Gladiators, but an excellent finish.
I think we're going to see more from her as the season progresses.
Definitely. She's someone that's really kind of standing out for us. Turnover there by the Gladiators, forcing the pass to Kirsty Brown. Klassen drives, Hendershot, right hand layup, makes it. And that's what she did a lot of last season.
She did indeed, and that was a really nice soft touch finish for the power she was coming through the key. And you could see the way she was coming through with intent, ready to take that contact if it came.
Travel called. Another turnover for the Gladiators. Beginning to be a few of them creeping into this fourth quarter as changes are made by Durham.
Katie Bennett, she had a great night tonight. She had that one coming over the half, the 8-second call, which wouldn't normally be what I'd expect from someone like her. But overall, she's had a tough night. Everybody that comes off the Gladiators bench, they can move their feet, they can play defence. She's had a really good account of herself.
We've got Ellie Moran's checking in for the first time for Durham. She gets the ball at the top, puts it into Bro, drives past Robin Lewis, misses it, and rebound by Sam Roscoe, is it? Plays it out. Yeah, well, good hustle onto the basket there. Push down the floor. Erin McCarricker for 3. Makes it. Tough shot. She's passed up a few of them tonight. Decided to take it as that's probably the only shot going.
She can shoot the 3 for
Absolutely.
sure. And it's something we're not saying, but you must. Sometimes we've talked about shooting too early, but Coach Miguel's obviously given them permission, that if you're open,
nice
you're going to shoot
step through. Dishes it out. Moran for 3. Misses it. Rebound by. Touched off Robin Lewis, and it's a Durham ball.
Wouldn't that have been great if she'd just come off the court? She's obviously getting in to get precious minutes to develop herself, and she come out and just hit the 3.
And I suppose it's situations like this where younger girls on the bench can get a chance to play against some top international players. Great inbound there. Klassen gathers it under pressure from Sam Roscoe. Hendershot for the 2. Gathered by Hannah Robb. Robin Lewis pushes it up the floor. Erin McCarrigan drives to the basket, pulls it back. Durham are looking for a travel, I think, on their bench. It's the Gladiators settle into their offense. Inside play to Kirsty Brown. Spins under the basket. Left hand finish. Superb composure. She gathers the inbound play. Almost. Kirsty Brown stealing the inbound play, going up for the shot. Unfortunately not successful. We've got 1 minute to go here at PlaySport. Shot by Durham, misses, gathered by Sam Roscoe. Less than a minute to go, 96-41. The question is, will we get to the 100? 3 ball by Kirsty. Misses
that
off.
team doesn't shoot the 3 ball.
Everyone, foul there by McCarrigan on Bro. Driving inside. We've got 41 seconds left. So Rona, time I probably should ask, who's your MVP for tonight?
It's tough because I feel like it has been a solid team performance, across the board easily. I think I'm going to go Putra though. I just think what she's put in her minutes has been awesome. She's found other people. She's had some really great defensive stops, and she's had some great scorers in and around the hoop.
Yeah, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 blocks as well for Avina Putra. Phenomenal performance by her on this season opener, league opener I should say, for the girls.
Really nice work there by Hendershot. She has not given up, less than 30 seconds on the clock, and she chased down
tough
that
shot,
rebound.
makes it. Griffith Wallace with the 3, off balance, 1 foot. She makes it. Erin to answer in the corner, and she makes it. 13 seconds ago, 99-44. Wow, as this game looks to be dribbled out, a phenomenal performance by the Gladiators. Griffiths will also look for one more. Moran just is inside the Klassen. and who on the buzzer doesn't make it. That does us for this game. 99 points to 44. A great league opener for the girls here at PlaySport. Rona, what do you think of that win for the girls?
I think great first outing. Good to see what they're about. I think, it'll be interesting to see if it's a tighter game, sort of what rotations look like, what the players look like. All credit to Durham coming out. They're going up against a team who've just won in Europe for the first time in Scottish history. That's always going to be challenging. Amazing facility. It's been great to be alongside you, Grant.
Yeah, for Durham, Griffith Wallace top scored in 17 points. She also pulled in 7 rebounds, so for Durham she was the one making a difference.
She did indeed, and we're going to see plenty more from her once they add Harriet back into their lineup as well. Things will look different. They've got one game under their belt now. They'll look to build upon that.
So as we said, the girls will go again on Thursday night. They play Captain Namur, Belgium in Euro Cup action. Tickets are available on the Fanbase app, and we hope to see you along here for another game soon. Rona, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Grant. It's been wonderful.
And we'll see you again on the broadcast soon.